This is the best motorcycle wiring diagram app, and it is free in your browser, on the phone in your hand in the garage. No install, no store download, no sign up to start. Just open a tab, and there's your bike's electrical system, the battery, the ignition switch, the coil, the charging side, laid out and ready to edit. A motorcycle harness is simpler than a car's, and that is exactly why a lightweight free app beats a heavy desktop program here. Let me show you the whole thing. So what actually lives in a motorcycle's wiring? Far less than a car, and that is good news. At the heart is the battery. From the battery, a fuse, then the ignition or key switch. Turn the key, and the whole bike wakes up. In series with that sits the kill switch on the handlebar, your instant cutoff. From there, the ignition circuit. The key feeds the coil, or the CDI box on a single-cylinder bike, and the coil fires the spark plug. That is what makes it run. Then the loads, headlight, tail light, indicators, the horn. And the charging side keeps the battery topped up while you ride. One battery, one key, one kill switch, a coil, some lights. That is most of a bike. Now, why an app instead of a big desktop program? Because of where you actually do this work. You are in the garage or at the side of the road with the bike in front of you and your phone in your pocket. You do not want to install anything, license anything, or boot a laptop. This one runs in the browser, on your phone, on a tablet, on any laptop. Open the link, and it is there. Two honest notes up front. It is a browser web app, not a store app, so there's nothing to download. And it is a general wiring tool, not a model-specific service manual. It will not hand you the exact color codes for your year and model, but it will let you draw, understand, and simulate your bike's electrics for free. Here is the app for the specific job of a motorcycle wiring diagram. It is a free editor that opens in an ordinary browser tab, the one on screen now. No install, no license, no sign up to start. It opens straight into an electrical symbol library. It routes wires for you, and the part that matters most, it can actually simulate the circuit you draw. Let me build a small bike circuit live, load a real one, and simulate it. It is free to open at CircuitDiagramMaker.app. This is the editor running in a browser, nothing installed. That already clears the hurdle before we draw a single line. Down the side is the symbol library. Search it, and the parts are all here. A breaker or fuse to protect the circuit, a switch for the ignition or the kill switch, a light fixture for a headlight or indicator, a ground for the chassis. Real electrical symbols, not generic boxes. To place one, tap the symbol, then tap the canvas, and it snaps to the grid. A fuse, the ignition switch, a headlight, and the chassis ground. That is the start of a bike harness, protected feed through the key switch out to a light, grounded to the frame, built on a phone with no download. The full battery, coil, and starter set comes in a moment we load a real diagram. And you do not have to start from a blank page either. Here is a real motorcycle ignition and starting circuit, open straight in the browser. The 12-volt battery on the left. The ignition switch with its off, accessory, on, and start positions. The ignition coil feeding the spark plug. And the starter relay driving the starter motor with the chassis as ground. That is the core of any bike: battery, key, coil, plug, starter. Look at the wires. They route pin to pin with clean corners and drag any component, and every wire connected to it follows. Rearrange the whole board and the drawing stays tidy. On a paper diagram or in a picture-only tool, moving one part means redrawing every line by hand. Here the connections are live, so the layout just keeps up. Now the thing a paper diagram or a service manual can never do. Simulation. There's a real spice engine built into the page. Open Simulate, pick DC operating point, and run it. Live node voltages and currents appear right on the diagram. 12 volts at the battery, the ignition online, coming alive, the ground sitting near zero. Actual numbers computed from the wiring you drew. If a connection is wrong, the numbers say so before you ever touch a real wire on the bike. A zero where you expected 12 volts is the fastest fault report there is. No meter, no blown fuse, no guessing. Transient and AC sweep live in the same dialogue when you want to watch how the ignition behaves over time. This is what turns a wiring diagram from a picture into a test. And getting the drawing out. Honestly, this is where the free plan draws its own line. PNG export is free, so you can drop the image straight into a forum post or a group chat with whoever is helping you with the bike. On the free plan, it carries a small watermark. The vector formats, SVG, PDF, and DXF, sit on the paid plan. That is the business model, and I would rather tell you than have you find out. You can also share a live link so a mate opens the exact same diagram in their own browser. No app, no install on their end. For most motorcycle wiring jobs, the free PNG is all you actually need. So, where does this land against the alternatives? A blurry photo of a service manual page tells you nothing you can test. A heavy desktop CD program is overkill for a bike, costs money, and is not in your pocket. And a picture-only drawing app draws lines, but cannot check if the circuit works. This free app sits right in the middle where a motorcycle job actually lives. It is on your phone in the garage. It has real electrical symbols out of the box. It routes wires for you. It loads a rail bike circuit to start from. And it simulates, so you find the fault on screen, not on the bike. For motorcycle wiring diagram, specifically, that combination is hard to beat. So do not take my word for it. Open the editor on your phone, drop in a battery, a key switch, and a headlight, wire them up, and hit simulate. For a bike's simple harness, you will have it drawn and tested in minutes. Free, no install, no card. It is at CircuitDiagramMaker.app, the best free motorcycle wiring diagram app right in your browser. The link is in the description. Subscribe for a new wiring video every week. See you in the next one.